everybody, welcome back. David Yon and the lovely Miss Lady Pop Hunter here with another open discussion, if you will. And this is something that it came up in our last live stream. We were talking about this and it touched a nerve with a lot of people. Some people got upset, well, not at us, but some of their frustration showed through their personal experiences based on what we were talking about. And what we were talking about is the notion, you hear it all the time, that you need to support your local comic and or toy shop.
And it goes beyond that, because you hear support local businesses or small businesses.
Mom and pops.
Yeah. And it's not always that you have a good experience. Sometimes you do.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't. And the reason why it came up on a live stream, because like, I think the day before or something, we had went to a local comic shop.
Yeah, that's right.
And had a bad experience. And, you know, we were just talking because we talk about pickups and how our week went and things like that. And we talked about that.
Yeah, that came up because very often, unfortunately, when you go to these comic shops or these toy stores, and again, you hear it all the time, oh, guys, you got to support your local shops. Don't buy it off eBay. Don't go online. Don't go to Big Bad Toy Store or whatever. You know, support the little guy. Give him a break. But that little guy doesn't give you a break. That little guy gives you a hard time. They don't collect anything, really. I feed into that a lot, because a lot of times when you're dealing with somebody who's not a collector, you find that they don't care about that stuff or you. And you can feel it. The only thing they collect is money. And so the merchandise doesn't mean anything to them. The product doesn't mean anything to them. And how you feel about it doesn't mean anything to them, because they can't relate. Not all of them. Not all. But there are many who are like that. And you get that sense. And some of you know what I'm talking about. You get that feeling from them. You're like, oh, you don't know anything about this.
Yeah, and I do know what you're talking about, because when we went to the comic book shop, it was that way. Went in there, asked about a comic that's going to be coming up next month in August.
Yeah.
And the guy just kind of like blew me off. Didn't know what I was talking about. Never heard of the comic before. Acted like he didn't have time when he wasn't busy. Nobody was talking to him. I didn't interrupt him.
Yeah. He
was only watching TV. So,
it was his show, though. You're messing with him while he's trying to watch his show.
So, you know, and all of that, I just walked out of the store.
And it's a major upcoming storyline. It's not like it's some obscure indie book that, you know, you may or may not know who the hell it is.
Yeah.
It's an upcoming Batman title.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a big deal. And she had some questions about it. It was like, yeah, I don't know what that is. And oddly enough, and you know, it sounds like we're messing with you here, he had his catalog open, and the book that she was asking for was featured on that page. So, you know, he's going through his, what is it, Diamond? The Diamond catalog? I forget.
I don't know nothing about the catalog.
And it's open to that, and it's like, dude, you know, it's right there.
And then he pulls it up reluctantly. I didn't even ask him to, but he pulls it up reluctantly. On
Twisted his arm.
And he was like, well, it's coming out on this date, August, whatever the date. And he was like, but I haven't ordered it yet. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, this is a pre-order. You have to order for your store.
Yeah.
And at that point, it was a month away. Shouldn't you have already put your order in yet? I mean, I've never worked in a store like that before. I've never worked in a retail store where you have to order, but I think you have to order more than a month in advance.
Yeah, you got to be kind of ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
I don't know about nowadays, but you know, when I was with New England Comics.
Oh.
Way back in the early 90s, they knew well in advance about upcoming titles.
And it seemed like if you're in a specialty shop like that, now I can see if you're in Family Dollar, you just got a lot of stuff coming in. But if you're in a specialty shop, like a comic book shop or GameStop, something where it's a specialty, you selling only these particular items, it seemed like you would know a popular item is coming out on this date and I've put my order in already because I want to make sure my customers have it. Even if you don't order 50, you might order 10 copies or something. I don't know how it goes, but it seemed like you would know more. Like you would just be in the loop.
If you cared to. And we ran into this also with when we went to that one show we went to with the Copter.
Oh, well,
yeah,
that was a show. That wasn't
a show, but I mean, it's still an independent dealer. And we had talked about it after the show because, you know, we do the show tours. It was a Copter. She has it now.
Yeah.
It's up on the wall. But, and we got it somewhere else. But he wouldn't let her see it. I don't know if he thought he was being funny or if he was playing games or what his problem is. But he gave her a really hard time.
Yeah.
To the point where we were just like, you know what? Let's just get out of here.
Yeah.
You know, we're done. And he kind of kiboshed the whole show for us. But because, you know, you get a bad vibe off of somebody like that. It sticks with you sometimes.
Yeah, it sticks with him because I forgot about that.
Yeah. You forgot about it now because it's been months ago. But that day you sure didn't forget. You were upset.
I was upset. But, I mean... And another reason why you asked the question, should I support my local, I'll just say business.
Sure.
A lot of times you go into these stores and you don't find what you want. Or if they do have it, the price is more than what you can find it on online.
Yeah.
Usually Amazon, but online. And with that comic book, I went online because I was debating, should I buy it online or go to the comic book shop, and I wanted to go to a comic book shop to support, and the one we went to was the closest one to us. It's two others that we like, but they're so far away. They're more than an hour away.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to drive an hour for one comic book. And then I wanted to just go pre-order it and try to see, you know, what did I have to do to get some variant covers and all of that. And I wanted to get all that done. But I was like, well, I'm not going to drive an hour knowing I wasn't going to buy anything because, you know, I was going to pre-order. I knew I wasn't going to come out with anything. So I just went to the closest one. And then I got that. So I came back home. I got online. I went to a comic book shop online. They had it for pre-order. I didn't have to bother with nobody. Nobody had to bother with me. I made my order. They had the variant covers. They showed them. I ordered the variant covers and it's done.
Yeah.
It's done.
It's easy. And, you know, and it's not saying that all of them are bad either, because there's a few that are pretty good. Like I talked about Wax Pack in Illinois, Aaron at Wax Packs.
Yeah.
He was pretty good, you know.
Yeah, and we found 2 other comic book shops here.
Yeah.
But like I said, they're so far away that it didn't make sense to drive that
travel
way.
time and
the
fuel
gas
and everything.
now is so much, you know.
It makes it hard.
Yeah, and if you're in that area, it's like, okay, I'm in this area, I'll go. But then, you know, the books are coming out every month, and every month you ain't in that area. So, I mean, I guess you can just take the hike and go, but who knows? But then also the cost is more. And I told this story before. It was a comic book that I went, omnibus, because I usually just buy omnibus, and I saw it in a comic book shop, one of the ones that's more than an hour away, and they wanted, I think it was $120 for it, and I found it on Amazon for for $50.
New and sealed.
Brand new, still in the wrapper.
Yeah.
So I was like,
what are you gonna do? I mean, that's the way the cookie crumbles with some of that stuff. Unfortunately, it's like you can find a better deal on it. That's what you're gonna go with. A lot of times, also with these shops, these toy shops and these comic shops, their prices are a lot higher than you would have to pay if you were to go to, say, eBay and win it at auction or whatever, or even if you went to the show. And I've always made this comparison. I think it's hilarious that you can go into one of these shops and they will not budge on the price if you try to get a deal, but then you catch them at a show and watch them negotiate. Suddenly, they want to haggle with you on everything, and they keep coming down on the price. And it's like, but you're the same guy, and this is the same item, but in the store, you were being a butthole, but at the convention, now suddenly you want to wheel and deal. And I know that part of that is because of the pressure they're under at the show, because they paid for the show venue, the travel expenses, they get to unpack and repack everything and stage and all that.
Sometimes lodging.
Yeah, it costs them a lot more, and they start getting desperate at the show. But if they were that flexible in their stores, they wouldn't need to go to the show.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know, but it goes beyond, like we said, it goes beyond toys and comics, because you can find that any place.
Yeah.
I mean, with anything, you try to say, okay, I'm gonna just go to the store. I can cut back on shipping costs, and I can see it, I can feel it. It might have more than one. It might have something different. And then you go to Walmart, Target, or wherever, trying to pick up an item, and it's never there. So then you end up going to Amazon. And I remember we wanted to buy a dustpan. You remember that dustpan?
Yeah.
We literally went to 3 stores. We went to Big Lots, Walmart, and I think we went to Target.
Yeah.
Or Family Dollar. I think it was Family Dollar, Dollar General, one of those dollar stores.
No one had a
dustpan.
A little brush and dustpan. Nobody had it.
We had to go on Amazon to buy one. And it's like we wasted all of that time and
that makes
gas
no sense.
Driving around. I was like, okay, Family Dollar is right here. It's like a mile away. You just drive. Went around, walked around. It's like, okay, we'll go to Walmart, but Big Lots comes up first. They got to have it at Big Lots.
Sure.
No. Oh, they're definitely gonna have it at Walmart. No.
Mm-hmm. And on and on.
So now I don't even try it. Just go to Amazon because it's there. And now they have this thing, we'll have it to you in the morning, but between 4 and 8 o'clock in the morning.
And it's cheaper, and it's free shipping.
Yeah.
A lot of the time.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what's the point? They want you to stay your butt home. Stay home. Don't go outside anymore.
Stay home. We'll bring it to you. And it's just a shame because that's just how things are going.
Yeah.
And it's just bad, but I don't know. I like going to the store and seeing what I'm gonna buy and touching it and feeling it and seeing what else is there. But they've made it so difficult. The internet, I guess, has made it so difficult. I think it's the internet.
Yeah, and then there's the bit with the if you brought anything to these guys to trade or sell, and you thought you had a good rapport, but then they turn into a pawn shop on you and they abuse you as a customer. I've heard a lot of complaints about that too. It's like, oh my God, they barely offered me 10 cents on the dollar for the stuff, and it's worth a lot, your collection, and you being robbed. But I'm gonna throw it back on the people who bring stuff into those places. First of all, they're gonna do that.
Yeah.
There's very few of them that are fair, and I'll reference Aaron from Wax Pack in Illinois again. He was pretty square about it.
Yeah.
Justice Curry, who some of you know who that is pretty square about it. He says, "Hey, I'll pay you 50%." That's not bad, actually. Why are you going there if you know you're going to get mistreated? I get it, you don't want to deal with eBay or any of these other selling platforms. But then if you had someone you could sell it to, you won't give them a fair shake. You instead of, if you know you're only going to get 10 cents on the dollar at the comic shop, okay? And you got Jimmy, who you know off Facebook, says he can pay you half And you're like, oh no, I know I can get more than that. Screw Jimmy. But then you'll go to the comic shop and knuckle under and walk away with your head hanging low.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why people do that. I don't understand. You'd be better off. You don't want to deal with eBay. I get it. There's taxes and fees and shipping to deal with and all kinds of mess and scammers and whatever. It's frustrating. eBay can be Mercari, all of these online sources, even Facebook Marketplace. I don't know why there's a problem in the community where, with a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people, where they won't reach out to another collector and make an exchange instead of going to these places and just getting browbeat. And
at least throw it out there. You're on 1 million Facebook groups.
Yeah, I would rather sell it to a collector and take a loss and know he's going to love it than go to a toy dealer or a comic dealer and just get hosed.
Yeah.
And just get beat down like a redheaded stepchild and put in the corner with a dunce cap. Because I deserve a dunce cap if I let him rip me down for 10 cents on the dollar.
Yeah, and then people are like, well, I don't want to give my stuff away, but if you give it to the toy shop
you're
or
definitely
the comic
giving
shop,
it away.
Yeah, because you're not going to get that much. At least if you go on a Facebook group and you put up this thing, hey, I have this, I want $100. Somebody might bite because they're like, oh man, $100, that's not bad. I've been looking for that for 5 years. It'll round out my collection. Hey man, I'll buy it. Here, you got PayPal. Send to PayPal, you ship it.
Yeah.
You know, you're done. Now you got $100. But you go to the toy shop, the best I can do,
I've got about 5 of these already.
I can give you $10.
Yeah, I know.
Now what about 15?
Yeah.
And you settle for 15 when you could have had 100.
And that happens a lot. That happens a lot. And it's unfortunate. It really is. But yeah, that was the argument when we brought that up on the live stream. That was the nerve that it touched for a lot of people. They go into these places. Yeah, I'd love to be able to support someone local, but they're rude. They're not knowledgeable about the products. They didn't pay attention. You know, they ignored me. I tried to make a deal and they scorned me or they ripped me off. You know, they weren't honest. I've gotten that one, and I've run into that a few times. There's people at certain, and I don't call them out because, like I try not to get into any feud situations. But there's shows that we go to, and she's like, "Oh, weren't you looking for that?" And I'm like, "No, not that guy," because I've talked to them before, and they felt shady to me. You know, they weren't being square. I noticed something was wrong. And they'll do that. You got to watch for that in comics too, especially you're buying a comic, especially if it's something you're going to lay down some money on. You better flip through every single page of that book, and you'll find a defect, and they'll be like, "Oh, I didn't know that was there." Yes, they did. They knew damn right well that defect was there. They knew there. I caught that guy on that first appearance of the Rhino. And, oh, anything wrong with it? No, it's a clean copy. You mind if I take a look at it? Sure. Right. First page. There's a name written on the top inside panel. It's not an autograph. It's just some kid's signature. It's just a little bit, a little thing like this. And I was like, you know, there's writing in this. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay, buddy. Well, yeah, I don't know then, because it's not worth what you were asking for then. There's a defect that you didn't disclose. It was worth less. But you've got to flip through every single page. And I don't mean be a butthole about it. Be careful. Because you didn't pay for it yet. So you got to be careful with this stuff. But do examine it very carefully. I'm serious. This is some shady characters. And they'll be sneaky with you. They'll be sneaky with you about certain things. But I think it's completely subjective because there's some good ones.
It is some good ones, and we had found, like I said, we found 2. And
in Atlanta area, Second Chance is pretty good.
Yeah, they're a toy shop. They're really good. But I was talking about comic book. We found 2 comic book shops, and I will go to one in August because I want the newsstand print of the comic and the variant copy. So I'll go to the store, get the newsstand copy, so I can read it and keep the variant.
Yeah. But yeah, it's hard, and I wish there was some kind of database where you could rate them. I know they have like Yelp or something. If you ever really look up Yelp, it's you see one with a 2-star rating, and then you open it up and only one person has ever reviewed it ever. People don't really bother with that
because you can't always trust. Now sometimes the Yelp reviews are accurate, but most times they're not. So somebody went there and they may have had a bad experience once, or some people, it doesn't matter.
You can't make them happy.
Yeah, they're going to complain for complaining's sake. And then you got some people that probably was never at that restaurant. They're those trolls. They've never been there, but I'm going to leave a Yelp review.
Oh my God.
And it happens. Those things happen. So you can't always, just like on Amazon and other places where you can leave a review of a product.
Oh, never trust the Amazon reviews. Never.
You can't always trust it. Sometimes it's accurate, but the majority of the time it's not. So you kind of got to check it out yourself and
we have
just
first-hand experience with that because she's left negative Amazon reviews, and they have contacted her to try to bribe her, offering her to change or remove her review, and we'll give you a $5 Amazon gift card. And then she refuses, and then they offer her 10. And if you keep refusing, by the way, then Amazon flips the offer to the company, and then the company pays, and then they take it down.
Yeah, they take the
if they can
down.
afford it. If they can afford to keep doing that. So you can't trust those reviews. They can be purchased. And your bad ratings can be purchased or removed with a deal with the company. So it's we've seen this actually happening because she's left a bunch of bad reviews on stuff on Amazon,
and they weren't
for legitimate reasons.
They weren't really like bad. I just told the truth about the product. This is not a good product, and
doesn't
this
work.
is why it doesn't work. It doesn't do this. It doesn't do that. They say it did it, or it works, but you have these issues. And the company is saying,
they start making offers, and then, like I said, if you don't take the offer, then them and Amazon do a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge thing, and then your review just disappears.
Yeah, I quit leaving reviews now. I just don't even review it. I just take it. I take it out the box. If I like it, I keep it. If not, I return it.
Yeah.
And I leave it at that.
Yeah, there's not much more you can do.
Yeah.
So, should you support your local comic or toy shop?
If you have a good experience, if you have if it's a good comic shop and you had a good experience, like I said, we've been to 2 that I actually like, but because they're so far away and we don't even go in that area or buy that area,
it's not easy for us.
Yeah, we just don't go. So, I would like to support them if they were good.
And if you know a good one, word of mouth works best.
Yeah.
Go ahead and let people know. And if you know one that's bad, let people know. Yeah,
don't go there. And it might just be that employee that day.
It could be.
They might have a staff of 5, and then Johnny was on, and he was supposed to be off, and now he got to come in for Mark because Mark just didn't show up, so now he's pissed all day.
Yeah.
That could be the case.
Yeah.
You never know, but, hey.
Hey. Thoughts? Feel free to post your thoughts in the comments section down below. Please do give the video a thumbs up if you got something out of that. Share it if you can. Subscribe if you knew, all that good stuff. And really, let us know what your thoughts are.
Yeah.
Get the conversation going down in the comments section and chime in. And if you want to shout out a comic or a toy shop that you think is particularly good, go ahead and shout them out in the comment section or on our Facebook on Open by Chance. On Facebook, call them out and say, hey, I think this one is pretty decent.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And tell the city that they're in, so if somebody is in that area, they can be like, oh, okay, I never heard of that, I'll go check it out.
Yeah. And if that's it,
Yep.
what more can we say but thanks for watching, and we will see you again soon.